All right, welcome back to Business Today. Now, if you were an entrepreneur back in primary school, I schooled between 2000 and 2010. There's something called juice cola, and you will mix it up and sell at 2 shillings, 5 shillings, a small cup, and make maybe some extra money out of it. And maybe that's how some of us entered into the beverage industry. And this is a multi-billion-dollar industry globally because, we have a culture of just sitting down and drinking and having a good time in regards to beverages. Now, what does it take to get into this world? That's a conversation today. And I'm talking to Alexandra Chapat. All right, I asked her what Chapat means, and she told me that it means tailor from Switzerland. Thank you very much for making time, Alex. You're the CEO and founder of Kenya Originals Beverages, and this was founded in 2017. A lot of people, first of all, this is a genuine question. If I want to manufacture something, a beverage, and I want to see people buying my beverage, what does it take to achieve that?
I think firstly it takes a lot of resilience in this country and a lot of manpower and some cash as well. The great thing about this country is in beverages you've got a lot of raw materials that you can use. So if you want to come up with any kind of innovation, this is the best country globally to be able to do it. The tricky thing is being able to get it to market. And so if you want to serve just you, I can get you a kitchen sample pretty quickly.
Yes.
But if I need to serve, 100,000, 200,000, etc., and set up a proper operations, you're likely to have to start that from scratch in beverages here.
Okay. And that's the challenge, getting it to market. Because how many friends do we know who make mixtures and they sell and they're like, this is incredible juice, or this is an incredible beverage. But how do we transition, or what are the hurdles that one has to overcome in order to get their product to market?
Well, I think it starts without the making, it starts with what does the consumer want. So I think when I first came here, there was a gap really on that middle sweet spot. So a lot of low-end mass market products and a lot of expensive imported products. But I think first and foremost what came out was there's a lack of choice in anything outside of beer and juice. So understanding what your consumer wants is the first step on your journey, so that you might create a beautiful juice that only you like, but if no one else likes it, it's a bit pointless. So step one, that. And then if you try and figure out how to make it, you have to make your own little kitchen sample at home. Once you start getting some people to like it, then bingo, start thinking about how to roll out a bigger manufacturing site. And you can still bootstrap that manufacturing site. We started with a container in Limuru.
Okay.
So flattened some land, put one container, then it was a second container, then it was the third container. So there we go.
So growth was sort of exponential, but market is very critical. And I'm looking at that market gap. You've said finding a sweet spot. Right now we're just talking about inflation here. And we are seeing, Irish potato going up. I've seen some fruits, sometime it goes up, coming down. Talk to me about that cost of input, especially in the Kenyan context, and place it in the context also of competitiveness, even if we are to explore markets across the borders, Uganda, Tanzania. How competitive are we?
Yeah, well, we use real Kenyan ingredients in every single one of our beverages, which is great because it means better taste. But the challenge is, obviously, when it comes to inflation, we are quite directly impacted. I think, the good part of that is we are positioned more premium. So we are accessible, so not super, super premium, but premium because we are delivering a better value because of the taste and the real ingredients. But the second part of that is we're still relatively small. So there's a lot of other optimization areas that helps us keep the pricing reasonable to the consumer because we are improving on other areas. So everything like our recycling's improving, and therefore we're able to cut cost out of a product in other areas to be able to put continue to use real fruit as an example.
Okay, that's incredible. And using real food, it sort of has a trickle-down effect into the farming economy of this country. How so, from your experience?
Yeah, I mean, we have from day one worked with smallholder farmers across Kenya. So, as an example, our mangoes are from Makueni, and we don't just use mangoes from Makueni, we use apple mangoes. So we're very particular about the varietal that we use and where we take it from, because it's really about the best taste. We're trying to be Kenya's version of wine. And we are also particular about the producer that we work with, because getting that quality and spec of fruit has taken us time to figure out where and who can best grow it. Same with our purple passions. We used to work with Meru. We also now work with other regions, particularly Laikipia. So we're learning the best places to get the best fruit and the best people to grow that.
Okay. And I want to sort of take a segue in regards to manpower. In this field that you're in, do we have many experts in Kenya? And are we doing anything in that regard to make sure that it is a viable field for people to look and be like, I'm an expert in beverage making, for example?
I think, you know, this is the interesting part, is there's a lot of experts in beer. We've got a great beer manufacturing industry here. But outside of beer, which is what we do, so we do things like cider and spirits, there is very little skill set, because no one, till we came along, distilled in this country. And no one was making real fruit cider in this country. So we've built that skill set. But the cool thing is, we've got some awesome Kenyans who are doing that. We've got 4 Kenyan distillers, 3 of which are female, and we have a female cider maker leading the cider making team. And it's awesome that they came into African Originals with zero context, and now they're making these awesome beverages.
That's incredible. You know, the gender balance is very critical, and seeing more women involvement in this sector becomes critical. But now I'm looking at the future, where this sector is going, because you've said, apart from you guys offering and fitting into a sweet spot, you are also in a sweet spot as a company in regards to the potential for growth. You'd say there are several areas of optimization that you still are working on. Talk to me about where African Originals is going, and what are these areas of optimization that you're working on?
Cool. So the first one is our availability is still fairly small. So, you know, one of the things that we want to expand is expanding Kenya. Our home, our DNA, everything is in Kenya. So we really see a lot of opportunity to continue to build market penetration in Kenya, and particularly saturate more of out of Nairobi, because we're strong in Nairobi, but there's more opportunity out there. And the second part is product innovation. You know, at the heart of our brand, is originality. Our purpose is ignite originality, and as part of that, innovation has been a key part in terms of product innovation. We have 28 SKUs, which my production team hit me on the head every day. But please do not bring out another innovation. But the consumer loves it, because there are so many gaps in the market on creating choice for the consumer. So that is a huge area of growth that we see.
Okay, and in the near term, looking at the market share, I know you've spoken about being very strong in Nairobi. I don't know, as you innovate and go into different spaces, I understand maybe people in Mombasa prefer different tests. That market research that informs the expansion. Talk to me, how is that like?
So, you know, I think we look at it from, there's one way to look at it as one, stealing market share, or can you grow penetration of categories that don't exist yet. So let's talk about our cider. How did we launch it? Well, our cider breaks every category rule. It is not like an apple forward cider, like a Tusker cider as an example. It is using real fruit from here. So we have mango and chili, we have pineapple and mint. So it's not what people classically think of a cider. And it was innovated based on the fact that we wanted to build a quality, safe, legal Muratina. And so it's sweet, strong and authentic. It's at 8% ABV. And yes, we call it a cider because we have an apple base. but it's everything that breaks the category rules. So really for us, it's less about stealing market share and more about building penetration of new categories that don't yet exist, but can tempt the consumer to grow the overall beverage category.
Okay, and briefly as we finish up, the issue about cost of input, I see it fluctuating when I look at inflation numbers. I don't know how that impacts your business.
Yeah, I think, the day-to-day for us, the biggest impact actually is from anything that we import, that we see coming in, and a lot of that is packaging. The good thing is we are moving more and more. We're already very locally sourced, and this is pushing us to be faster on that agenda. So, total inputs are 70% local, 30% from abroad, and we're looking to move to over 90% within the next 9 months, which is a great outcome for us.
Ah, beautiful. Next 9 months. We'll be here waiting and observing. But thank you very much, Shapat, for your time. That is matters to do with beverage industry. Alex Shapat is the CEO and founder of Kenyan Originals. And she says that